AirTech Soldier here, and I'm back to talk about Star Trek Lower Decks Season 3, Episode 6, and my thoughts on this episode. Well, we're back to the regular stuff. The terrible episode, the canon-breaking stuff, and oh my god, the only Star Trek that has not been touched by Kurtzman, Deep Space Nine, has been finally violated by Kurtzman and new crappy Trek. Yeah, they fucking ruined it. Not going to say they completely destroyed it, but god damn it, man. Am I happy to see Kira back? Yes. Am I happy to see Quark back? Yes. Not in this. Not in this. It's a fucking terrible episode. I mean, the Mariner story was so fucking boring. And Boimler was there. Tendi, I'll give it credit. Tendi got a little bit of a fucking good story in this episode. I'll give it that. But god damn it, man. Deep Space Nine was the only Star Trek not to be fucked with. And I am a massive fucking Deep Space Nine fan. Out of all the Star Trek shows, movies, I always go to Deep Space Nine. It's the best fucking series. In my opinion, it's better than Next Generation. I know it's going to piss some people off, but that's what I believe. So to see Kurtzman, to see shit Trek go take a shot at Deep Space Nine, it pissed me right off. I mean, fucking hell. I mean, there was 3 mistakes in this. One mistake being Kira. I'll go into that in spoilers, but they had to go to Deep Space Nine. That pisses me off. But yeah, the episode's terrible, boring, annoying, law-breaking. I cannot stand Mariner's storyline. I just can't. Again, so I can't go into that until spoilers, but I'll go into that in spoilers. But yes, it's a bad episode. I gave this episode, I gave Lower Decks credit last week. I said a decent episode, but I knew we'd go back to the shit. I knew we would. Episode, if I'm going to give it out of 10, it's going to be 2. And those 2 points are just for Tendi. That's about it. Everything else in this episode was shit. Man. I'm so sick of Star Trek fucking with... I'm so sick of Kurtzman Trek fucking with good Trek. And I'm so pissed they finally got into Deep Space Nine and they're fucking it up. So let's go into spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So the episode starts off with the captain saying how she's been sent on a mission to make a trade deal with the Korima. Now, if you don't remember the Korima are the people from the Gamma Quadrant who are business people like the Ferengi. Now, apparently, now the Dominion Wars are over, they're allowed to trade with the Federation a lot more openly now. Even though they were doing deals with the Federation. Different franchise. The Federation. But apparently they want to make a new trade deal with the Federation, and the Street has been sent to negotiate with them with a shitload of alcohol, because we're all fucking 15 years old, because that's how you deal with negotiations. Get them drunk and then they'll probably... I don't fucking know. Sorry, this episode really pissed me off. It really did. So, Captain sets a course for Deep Space Nine. They get Deep Space Nine, and then we get a little bit of a piss take out of the credit scene of Deep Space Nine. You know, the da-da-da-da, all that stuff. Because that's funny, apparently. I don't know why it's funny, but that's what they think. So, Cerritos beams over, and they go up to the ops of Deep Space Nine. They don't call it a bridge, they call it ops. And we meet Colonel Kira. Apparently Colonel Kira is still a fucking colonel after, I don't know, 10 years? and the Bajorans are still not in the Federation, even though the head of security of the Cerritos is a Bajoran and he's in a Federation uniform. Why is Kira not in a Federation uniform? Has Bajor joined the Federation? We don't hear any of this. We're finally here. We're finally at Deep Space Nine in Kurtzman Trek, and they can't answer a fucking decent question. Again, Colonel Kira's still a colonel. Don't find out anything about Bajor. The Bajoran security officer, which I still don't know his fucking name, goes crazy at looking at Deep Space Nine, saying fucking Cardassian monstrosity. You do remember that's where your god, Cisco was. You literally saw that place differently because of Cisco, because of the war, because you took it over. I mean, I know what they're trying to do with the character. I know they're trying to, give him this whole backstory about being in the Resistance and fighting the Cardassians. But come on, there's been so much history on Deep Space Nine. A Bajoran would not see it as an eyesore. They'd see it as a religious place. Ah, God. Anyway, so they meet up with Colonel Kira, and she tells them that she's happy to see them, and she's going to help them with the negotiations with the Korma. So, next scene is, oh God, we have to go through this, don't we? Mariner preparing to go on a date. Oh no, not a date, a slumber party, whatever the fuck they call it, with her girlfriend, the blue girl. I don't fucking know her name. And she's nervous about it because she wants to make it work with the fucking girl, and she's worried that she's going to make a bad impression in front of her friends. But Boimler tells her to not think like that and just go make a good impression, and just don't be so bossy with her friends like you are with them. I mean, with him and the other two. Mariner then gets a bit self-conscious about this. Listen, I'm going to go through the Mariner stuff quick because it's pretty fucking boring. So, Mariner agrees to go. She heads off to the slumber party and she meets with the blue girl's friends. And she goes to talk to them. She goes to the slumber party in her uniform, whereas the Andorian girl's friends are all wearing slacks or t-shirts and stuff, so it's not so formal. So Mariner gets self-conscious about that. And all these scenes in the slumber party are just cringe-worthy leftist girls screaming and, talking about nonsense and shit like that. And Mariner's just uncomfortable because she's trying not to be bossy. And halfway through this fucking slumber party, the ship loses power because of another scene I'll go into later. And all these crewmen, who are Federation officers, start to panic after 2 minutes of power going down. Federation officers, people trained to serve on a starship that has been in many fucking fights and has had to deal with many situations, panic in 2 seconds because they start worrying about air. Now, I get it, they're trying to make this scene funny by saying all these girls are just crazy panicking over nothing, but they are Federation officers, and this is just a ridiculously stupid scene. So Mariner then gets told by her girlfriend, stop acting this way. I didn't bring you to meet my friends to act like somebody else. I brought you here to, be your bossy bitch self. So Mariner then realises, she can be a bitch, and then pulls a phaser on the Andorian girl's friends and shoots them all. That is not a joke. She shoots all of her friends. Now, I'll give it that she's only stunned them, but still, really weird to be so happy about phasering your girlfriend's friends. Anyway, so she stuns them all. Then she kisses her girlfriend, and they both don't want to make this look bad, so they stun themselves, and that's the end of Mariner's involvement in this episode. Terrible fucking scenes. So let's go on to, where should we go first? We might as well do Boimler next. Boimler loves being on DS9. He then goes to Quarks, plays Darbo, and starts winning a shitload of Latinum. The Ferengi are worried that he's winning too much money, so they keep trying to stop him winning without cheating. I don't understand why they haven't used the buttons underneath the fucking game that are there to make sure Quark doesn't lose money, but who knows why they didn't do that. But Boimler starts winning a shitload of money. They try to make him stop, they try to get him out, and then the ending of this whole Boimler crap with this episode is the Ferengi offering him some sort of, I don't know, voucher for prizes or gifts at the Quark store. And that's the end of Boimler's scene. Let's go to the Tendi scenes now, because they're the only decent ones there. So Tendi goes into Quark's with Rutherford, and she bumps into another Orion. And this guy, he is proud to be Orion. He starts talking about piracy and all that shit, because again, the Orions are pirates. Apparently there are more pirates now than they were hundreds of years ago, because it doesn't make sense, because the Orions changed. Yes, the early Orions were all the fucking pirates and all these, and did all that crazy shit, but they changed. That's why they joined the Federation. I mean, this guy obviously is fake. You can obviously tell this guy has never pirated anything in his life, because he acts like such a twat. But he makes Tendi feel uncomfortable, because again, as we all know, Tendi is not happy with being, with the fact her people are pirates. And she's trying to get away from this guy, but this guy keeps forcing his way into help. Well, given Rutherford and her a tour of Deep Space Nine, he keeps talking about being a pirate. She keeps getting uncomfortable. But in this scene, he literally mentions the fact Orions are, they have a sexual kind of, what do they call it? Pheromones that control other Orion men. And again, I'm just watching this scene, remembering, like, Tendi, you do remember you're a Orion female and he's a male, right? You can literally tell him what to do. That is literally your people's biggest thing, is the fact Orion women run Orion's culture. This is insane. Why haven't you told him to fuck off? You can literally do that. You don't even need pheromones. You literally did this a season ago to tell your cousin to help you build that stupid cat thing. Anyway, so Tendi keeps trying to get away from the Orion, but she can't. But she manages to get a assignment sent to her by, I don't know, somebody to put some stuff on the Koroma's ship. So she heads off to do that. They grab some crates, push it onto the Koroma's ship, but it turns out the Orion pirate guy, he managed to get himself reassigned to do security for the crate, so he's going with them. They get on the ship, and then the ship takes off for another reason, which I'll go into in that part of the story. On the ship, Tendi gets annoyed and more annoyed at the Orion pirate guy, and then she screams at him and says she's not proud to be Orion, she's not proud of their history, all woke bullshit. And he gets absolutely annoyed about it, calls her a traitor, blah 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 blah. And then when the ship starts to head to the wormhole, they realise they need to pirate the ship to stop it from going into the wormhole. Because if they go in the wormhole, the Federation is going to find it really hard to get them back. So Rutherford tells the Orion pirate guy to help them take over the ship. Then he breaks down like a bitch and says he can't do it because he's been talking a load of shit. He's never pirated anything in his life. He's never been to Orion. Apparently he was brought up by humans on Earth. Okay, and everything he learned about Orions was from a holo manual. Okay. And then Tendi gets annoyed because he called her a traitor and he's never been to Orion. And then she forgives him because apparently Tendi is completely knowledgeable about piracy, because apparently her family have taught her well. So she managed to break out of the room they're stuck in. She then goes through the hallway, kicking the shit out of all these Korma security people, and then she manages to take over the ship with a latinum tooth, and stops the ship from going into the wormhole. And that's the end of Tendi's story. She takes over the ship, saves the day, and Redford and her just celebrate the fact Tendi's now going to be a little bit more accepting of her culture. So let's go to the main story now. So the captain meets with the Korma with Kira. She tries to make a trade deal with the Korma, and they're not really interested. They don't really see any profit in dealing with the Federation, even though you've already dealt with the Federation and made a shitload of money from them, but okay. And she struggles to find a fucking way to get through to the Korma, but in an earlier scene she had a talk with Quark, who apparently now has a franchise all over the Alpha Quadrant of Quark shops and Quark places, and he's making a shitload of latinum from it. So she thinks taking a Korma to talk to Quark will help them decide to start trading with the Federation again. I should mention, whilst this is all going on, Kira and the Bajoran security guy keep trying to one-up each other about who saved who better, and apparently it's not about who did it better. Kira's saying she owes him thanks, and the Bajoran security guy keeps saying no, he owes her thanks. And it was just a ridiculous load of nonsense I didn't need to hear. Again, I respect Kira. The characters are fucking amazing. And just to see her acting like such a twat in this episode pissed me off massively. Fucking hell. She's a good character. Why are you wasting time with this shit? We've seen Kira, interact with her friends in the fucking Resistance. It's never been this cringe. It really hasn't. Anyway, so the captain takes the Korma to talk to Quark. Quark then says some bullshit about not wanting to do any deals with the Korma because they're from the Dominion, and he still remembers the war about them killing all their customers, and he says he has rules. And I'm just like, bullshit, Quark, what's the real thing here? And it turns out when they look at Quark's special 2000 replicator, it turns out it's stolen technology from the Korma. And Quark then he starts to panic, and then the Korma just take Quark as a prisoner and be back to their ship. They then start to run away. Before they left, they apparently threw some ball onto a computer and then shut down Deep Space Nine, all of its systems. That's what turns off the Cerritos' power. The whole, Mariner scene came from that. And the Korma try to run to the wormhole, but Tendi stops that. So Deep Space Nine track to beam the ship back to Deep Space Nine, where the Korma explain why they did it, why they kidnapped Quark. They said they didn't kidnap him, they arrested him for stealing their technology. Okay, so why didn't you just explain that to the Federation? Quark stole your technology. You didn't need to kidnap him. You didn't need to attack Deep Space Nine. All you had to do was say to the captain, say to Kira, yeah, Quark stole our technology and we want to arrest him for that. They would literally hand him over in a second then. You didn't need to do any of this. None of this needed to happen. But we need to have some ridiculous story about Tendi stealing a ship. Again, I like the Tendi scenes, but kind of ridiculous when you can see you didn't need to do this at all. Unbelievable. So Quark then admits that he's fucked up and he did steal the technology, but maybe we can come to some sort of arrangement. Captain agrees to make some sort of arrangement with the Korma, and the Korma manage to make a new trade deal with the Federation and a deal with Quark, which is they'll take 75% of Quark's earnings from his franchise. And then this episode ends with Mariner threatening Quark with a fucking hollow picture of his face on Kira's body. And he wants to hide that from Kira, so he's going to wipe Mariner's debt tab to him. Okay, one problem with this. One, why would Quark give a shit? Two, Kira already fucking knows about the fucking head on her body because she literally made that herself in the episode that they pretty much stolen this stupid fucking Kira body Quark head from. She made the fucking thing. It's, again, some idiots probably found this out about Kira and Quark body and they thought it'd just be a good joke to put in the episode. But they kind of forgot the fact Kira made the fucking thing herself. About that creepy fucking alien dude who wanted to have sex with Kira as a hologram. Like, she knows about this. Quark wouldn't care because he knows, because that's what fucked him with his customer. She hit the customer. Oh, fucking hell. I hate when they fuck with good Star Trek. And again, the only good thing has they've never touched Deep Space Nine. They've never touched it, and now they've touched it, and they've already fucked a lot of shit up. And then the episode ends with Quark eating the holo card or whatever the fuck Mariner gave him. Yeah, terrible, and that's how the episode ends. Terrible episode. It's a 2 out of 10. Again, Deep Space Nine. Why? Why fuck with it? I'm just pissed off. It's a terrible episode. We're back to normal now with fucking Lower Decks, fucking up canon, and fucking with good Star Trek. How does this keep going? How has this got another season? And yet we're still waiting to hear about the Orville. It has been, I don't know, 2 months since the Orville ended. And we still have to wait for that to find out if we're going to get a new great season of Orville. But we already know we're going to get another useless piece of shit season of Lower Decks. It's insane to me. Who is watching this and enjoying it? It is a piece of shit show that was only made because they wanted to rip off Rick and Morty and thinking that was a good idea. Even though Rick and Morty is already struggling for viewers. And yes, it is. If you're thinking it's still doing good, no, it isn't. It's losing viewers. So this is just such a waste of time. This show is a waste of fucking time. Why are you making it? Why? Sorry, they really pissed me off with going to Deep Space Nine. Absolutely pissed off about this. Terrible episode. This show should be cancelled. How is it still going on? I have no fucking idea. And that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do think about subscribing. Entertainment Soldier. Bye.